Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Dexter Zio, and you are not. I'm here with the lovely Samantha Guisinger.
Hey.
And Jordan S. Squeezy.
Yeah, that's me.
You might remember Jordan if you have been listening to my show, which I know you have because you absolutely love Live from A306. Like, you have all the merchandise that's available, which is none.
Oh.
And Jordan was on last week, weren't you?
I was.
He's here assisting Sam, accompanying her.
Beautiful playing.
Oh my God. Absolutely astounding playing is what it is. But in fact, if you listen to this in the background here, the thing that I use for the background of all the talking, the little talk shows that we do, that's actually Jordan who composed this.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that.
That's nice.
Isn't it? It's very nice. But anyway, we're not here to talk about Jordan. That was last week. We're here to talk about you, Sam.
Oh no.
So why don't we start off with a little bit of an introduction to you and how you're a little bit different from the people that I've had on here before, mainly because most people who are on here are bands looking to go out and take the world by storm with their music, but you want something else in life, so why don't you go ahead and explain it?
Yeah, no, home skillet. I am a music education major. My goal in life is to be teaching the youths of the world, creating beautiful people for the world of tomorrow. That's my goal in life there. That's pretty much it. Yeah.
I mean, that's a pretty good goal.
Yeah, I think it's good.
It's definitely one that is not as common here. A lot of people here just want to go out and play jazz or
whatever. Actually, funny you should mention that. I'm going to go off on a tangent based on that. So, yes, a lot of people here are here for Yaz, as the cool kids call it, or jazzercise, maybe. Maybe. No, so I am fully classically trained before I came here. A lot of people are here for the whole production side of things. I came here because it's completely different from any other school in the sense of what kind of education that I'm going to be getting. My goal in life is to be a well-rounded music teacher. I didn't really want the traditional training for music ed. I wanted a little bit of everything since I'm not amazing at classical music, but I'm pretty okay with it. I'm confident with it. I needed something new. I needed a change, so that's why I'm here.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool. So being a music ed teacher, you've obviously had people teaching you music.
Yes.
And there's a lot of people out there who want to teach music. And what I'm curious to know is, from your point of view, your opinion, what is a good music teacher and what is a bad music teacher?
Wow. That is a loaded question. Can you give me a little bit more direction there? Because there's a lot of things.
Well, I say pick something, focus in on. I really just want to know what you would consider a good way to teach music and a bad way to teach music. Like, I know there's a lot of people who teach and they're like, oh, you got to do this all yourself. You need to do all these exercises and stuff like that. And then there's other people who are like more relaxed with it. They're just like, do whatever.
So we'll start there and move on. I think a good music teacher gives freedom to the student. A lot of freedom. Thankfully, all of my private instructors have done that for me. I'm very happy about them, but I've definitely known some people who had instructors that forced them to sing one or two songs or force them to play one song or the other song without really of a choice. Almost all of my personal instructors have given me like, okay, let's listen to a bunch of music. You choose what you like the best. These are the pieces that we think you will do well with. What do you like the best about them? And which one do you like the best? But I've definitely known people that their instructors are like, okay, here are the 3 pieces that you're going to be singing for this year.
Right.
No choice whatsoever. I think that's a horrible way to teach because music, art, anything like this is very personal. It promotes freedom of speech, I think, and should be free-flowing because music is a way of life filled with twists and turns of emotion, and it's made for us, by us.
Right.
There's no one way that we need to do it. We need to do it the way that we feel it.
Awesome.
So I'm very, very focused on that.
That's great. That was a perfect explanation if I've
Thank
heard any.
you.
So,
It's my Instagram bio. I'm not kidding.
really?
Yeah.
All right, look at that. Drawing
made
inspiration from everywhere. But so going off of that, how do you think Berklee does with their teacher? I know you were talking about your private instructors, but like let's talk about all teachers here at Berklee. How do you think that they teach? Do you think it's good to your standards?
That's a loaded question. So there are definitely some teachers that are very, very biased that I've come across, and that has definitely given me frustrations. One of the biggest biases that I've personally run into, I'm a vocalist. In case you couldn't tell already, I like the spotlight. Just kidding. One of the biggest stigmas against vocalists is that they're not actual musicians, that they don't know that much about theory. So in definitely a few theory classes, I've been looked down upon by the teachers. They're like, oh, you're a vocalist, you need some extra attention. No, homie, I'm good. I definitely know my theory. I'm not amazing at jazz harmony, but that's because I'm a classical broski.
Right, exactly.
But that's okay. Yeah.
So like you don't like the prejudice and stereotype that people can
Yes.
put on the students here. And I mean, I know that's
Yes.
like that's a hard thing to get rid of.
It definitely is in any school. It's just I don't feel any prejudice against in this aspect that I'm going to talk about next, but I really don't do that toasty in in jazz harmony because the concept really just frustrates me, to be honest, because it's so similar to traditional harmony, but everything's just written differently.
Right.
And my brain hole cannot compute it. And I'm just sitting there, I'm like, this is cool. So I think that's just a personal, like, it frustrates me that Berklee students have to take 4 years of jazz harmony and only 1 or 2 of traditional harmony, but that's coming again from a music ed standpoint, considering that most of the US and most of the world, the colleges are surrounded against the traditional theory-based stuff. And so to be putting educators out into the world from Berklee who had a strong jazz-based harmony thing is kind of doesn't sit the best with me, but I did choose to come here because I wanted to be a more well-rounded musician. I wanted to know a little bit more about jazz because I'm horrible at jazz. So it's like a give and take.
All right. Well, cool.
Yeah.
So like whenever you leave Berklee, are there a lot of people, well not people, a lot of colleges outside of Berklee that really focus on jazz harmony when it comes to music education? Or do you think like after you get out of Berklee, there's like little that deal with jazz, so that's probably why they focus on it?
Well, I think it depends on the teacher. My band director was a huge jazz guy. Loved jazz very much. He's a sax player, amazing sax player. Miss him. But he still focused more on the traditional side because I took AP theory with him. I was in band with him as well, and he did definitely focus more on the traditional side of things. But he also had the jazz band, which he like hounded it on, like that was his baby. That was cool. But it was like there's a little bit of everything, but I think in general the world outside of Berklee is more traditional theory based.
Right. So it's probably good that Berklee does a little bit of jazz.
Yeah, it's definitely great for what it is.
Awesome. All right, so one last question to really ask you, and that is and I ask this to almost everybody, but it's going to be definitely a different answer for you, but what are your goals after you're done here?
Well, I'm going to tell you my number one goal right now.
Okay.
This is what I tell everybody. I want to be, when I'm 6 years old, I want to be living in the mountains of Colorado, teaching at a small private institution or a small liberal arts college, very obscure. I want to be teaching choir because I love conducting choir. And I just want to be that teacher that the students are super comfortable with. I want to have like pizza nights at my house in the mountains with my students because I'm just a comfortable figure in their life. I just want to be somebody there for them.
Awesome. What a great thing to aspire to. That's great. I wish I had a teacher like that. Dang, I probably wouldn't have enjoyed music so much more. So that's great that you're really going to go out there and do that. And I hope that anyone listening really is like, wow, Sam's right. I want to be that cool teacher too.
Yeah, I want to be that cool teacher.
But Sam isn't just a teacher. That's hard to say. She sings too. And she'll be singing right after this music break. So don't you dare leave. Stick it right here.